So, you're starting a new job in an English-speaking office. That's awesome! But it can also be a little nerve-wracking, right? Well, in this explainer, we're going to give you the essential grammar tools you need to feel totally confident right from day one. Let's dive in. Okay, let's be real. Those first-day jitters, they're totally normal. You're trying to meet new people, figure out where your desk is, all while wondering, am I saying this right? But here's the good news. The right grammar tools can be a huge confidence booster. So let's turn that anxiety into action, shall we? All right, first things first. One of the very first questions you're going to hear is, so what do you do? And to answer that one clearly and confidently, you really only need one essential grammar tool, and that is the present simple. So what is the present simple tense? Think of it as your best friend for talking about routines, habits, and just plain old facts. It's the foundation for pretty much everything you'll talk about at work. It's simple, it's powerful, and it makes sure your communication is always crystal clear. Let's see it in action. You can say stuff like, the office opens at 9 a.m., or I start work at 8. Super straightforward, right? Now, here's the one little detail you've got to remember. For he, she, or it, you just add an S. So it's not he work in finance, it's he works in finance. Not she managed the team, but she manages the sales team. It's a tiny change, but trust me, it makes a huge difference in how you sound. Okay, so what about things that aren't part of your routine? Simple. You just use don't or doesn't. For instance, you could say, I don't work in IT. And for our he, she, it friends, they get doesn't. So, he doesn't sell computers. Easy enough, right? Of course, you're not just going to be talking about yourself. You'll want to get to know your new colleagues too. So you'll need to ask some questions. If you just need a yes or no, start with do or does. Something like, do you like your job? But if you want more details, just pop a question word, like where or what, in front. For example, where does she work? See? You're already sounding like a pro. Okay, so you've introduced yourself, you've explained what you do. Awesome. But now, where's the coffee machine? Where's the printer? To build that mental map of your new office, we're going to need a whole new set of grammar tools. And those tools are called prepositions of place. I absolutely love this definition, small words with a big job. And it is so, so true. Think of these little words like in, on, at as the internal GPS for your office. They tell you exactly where everything is. So let's start with the big three, in, on, and at. You work in the office. Your department is on the second floor. You can meet someone at reception. See how much work those three little words are doing? They're doing all the heavy lifting for you. Now we can get a little more specific. This is how you really paint a picture for someone. You can describe where things are in relation to other things. For example, the printer is next to the cabinet, or the manager's office is between HR and finance. Using these helps you give and understand directions so nobody ever gets lost. All right, you've got the basics down, what you do and where things are. But now let's add a layer of, well, professional polish. Because in an office, it's not always just what you say, but how you say it. And this is where we get into the real art of sounding polite and professional. Okay, just take a look at the difference here. You could ask, where is the CEO's office? It's direct, sure. It's not exactly rude, but it can come across as a little demanding, you know? Now, listen to the second version. Could you tell me where the CEO's office is? Hear that? It's instantly softer, more formal, and just way more professional. Honestly, this one phrase, could you tell me, is pure gold. It's like a magic wand. It takes a direct question and instantly turns it into a polite, professional request. Seriously, memorize this one. Use it all the time. You will always, always make a great impression. But there is one golden rule you have to follow. For these polite, indirect questions, you have to keep the normal sentence order after your starter phrase. So look at the correct example. Where the office is, it's not where is the office, like in a normal question. That little switch is the most important thing to remember here. And hey, let's add a few more of these awesome phrases to your professional toolkit. I was wondering if is fantastic for making a request, especially in an email. And do you know when is perfect for asking about schedules. They are both so useful and incredibly professional. Okay, it's time to put it all together, the grand finale. We're going to combine our prepositions of place with our new politeness skills to ask for and give directions. By the end of this, you'll be navigating that office like you've worked there for years. So, remember those polite question starters we just talked about? This is where they really shine. Instead of just, "Where's the R&D department?" you can say, "Could you possibly direct me to the R&D department?" Or how about, "Would you mind showing me where the cafeteria is?" It just sounds so much better, doesn't it? But what happens if someone asks you for directions? Don't panic. The key is to keep it simple. Use strong action words like go and turn, and then pair them with your prepositions. Things like until, after, on your right. It breaks it down into clear, easy to follow steps. And here's a little pro tip for you. Whenever you can, use landmarks. Instead of just saying it's on your right, try something like the finance department is opposite the cafeteria. This gives the other person a really clear visual anchor, a reference point, and it makes your directions practically impossible to get wrong. So let's do a quick recap of your brand new Office Grammar Toolkit. You've got the present simple for talking about your routines and facts. You've got prepositions to build a map of your workspace. You have indirect questions to sound super professional and polite. And you have directional phrases to navigate the halls with total confidence. You are absolutely ready to go. At the end of the day, remember this. Grammar isn't just a bunch of boring rules. It's the key that unlocks clear communication and, more importantly, real confidence. You've totally mastered the essentials for your first day. So the only question left is, what will you unlock next?